Ranneko's Massive Tips! Blastcapper. The Blastcapper is the Caberjack Alchemist hybrid. Caberjack primary, obviously, and Alchemist secondary. So that means they get a little bit of the Alchemist powers, a little bit of the Caberjack powers. Well, most of the Caberjack powers, in fact. Now, the thing that is not obvious from looking at the skill tree is that a Blastcapper does not get knockback. Their starting skill is instead an explosive caber. A bit like the Ramcap caber, except instead of knocking things back, it's an area effect. So keep that in mind. You're never going to, well, you're almost never going to have a level 1 Blastcapper, because as hybrid classes only come about from your heroes having children, it's really unlikely that your heroes are going to have level 1 kids by the time they get through all their training. You might have 1 or 2 over the course of the entire game. Now, then their skill tree. The level 2 skill, much like a Caberjack, is Charge. Charge is useful, it never misses. It's a bit restrictive in how you use it because it's got to be straight lines, but you can use it to knock other characters out of the way, you can use it to do damage to enemies, and you can use it to knock back. Given that you do not get the basic knockback attack with a Blastcapper, it's really important to use, and also you can't not pick it. Then you've got your extra item slot. All of the Alchemist hybrids get an extra item slot option. This is really useful. Generally I will pick it over the other option at this level, which is Fury, because I try and avoid being hit, so hopefully I don't need to use the extra damage from Fury very often, and that second item is useful. It lets you use Wonder Pants if you want, or it lets you use Sponge Stone, or any sort of item. That's one thing that I quite like. And then you have, at level 6, a choice between Prime Target and Acid Solution. This again is an interesting decision, because you can use Acid Solution does 6 damage over time. So 6 damage to the enemy each turn. It means that if you hit an enemy and take them down to less than 6, you know that enemy is dead next turn. Easy to just move on to the next target. It isn't a huge amount of damage towards the end of the game, but it's enough. I often will go for Acid Solution. And it of course applies to the explosive caber as well. And then you have Prime Target, which is a taunt. It forces all enemies to attack this hero. And then you have B-Bound and Fortify. B-Bound is interesting. Bees are kind of a extra battlefield element. When your hero is attacked, bees move into the square of the enemy that attacked them. The thing is, it goes bee movement at the start of your turn, basically, and then bee damage at the end of your turn, if I recall correctly. Anyway, the key thing is, enemy hits you, it's past the bee damage check. The bee then moves. So it's not actually that often that enemies will get hit by the bees that they unleash in the next turn. It's kind of, I think it's mistimed for it to be particularly useful. It's nice. Fortify is also nice. Neither of these are so amazing that I'm that worried, but in general I'll go with Fortify because I like the extra armor. And finally, Kill Rage. Every Caberjack hybrid, Caberjack and Caberjack hybrid gets Kill Rage, and Kill Rage is awesome. It's really important to remember that Kill Rage knocks your accuracy down every time you attack, which means that, keeping in mind that both Charge and the explosive flask, also the explosive caber is the name of the skill, both of those do not have a attack check. They always hit. It's very easy to know, which means that when you've gotten down to the last couple of attacks, maybe you want to start moving into using the explosive caber hits, There's no cooldown on Explosive Caber, there's just a cap of 5. I found that really useful, even though the Explosive Caber has lower damage. And now we'll go into battle. We're going to use Ranneko here with the Ramcap Caber. And we are going to use a different character than this one. I have one other Blastcapper who is unfortunately injured, but we'll give her a go. And I'll show you how you play with Blastcappers. Okay, we need to be really cautious here. Problem that we have is, as the problem with only bringing Caberjacks to a fight, and only bringing 2 Caberjacks to a fight, including one slow one and one with asthma, is we don't have as much movement as I'd like. And we can't really cope with seeing a lot of them at the same time. We want to try and stick to edges, we want to try and stick to areas where we can limit our contact with them. And this is made additionally difficult by the fact that we are dealing with 2 ranged cadence types. We're dealing with Blastcappers. No, sorry. We've got Blastcappers. We're dealing with the lapses and we're dealing with cradles. So, I mean, we will have some melee enemies, but we won't have too many. So, I think we've gone away from where most of the enemies are spawned, which is not ideal, but they do move around, much like we do. So, what I'm going to do is ideally, this is actually pretty much the ideal spot for a fight, if we can keep it here. But we need them to actually show up. That's our problem, is we need them to show. And this would be a lot easier if we were later on in a fight, because once you take out enough of them, the cadence actually will come to you. They're really quite generous when you come down to it. But as things stand... Holy crap, that is all of them. Well, actually, I wish I could say that that is all of them. That's a lot of them. And unfortunately, the cadence kind of... Okay, what's your sight radius? Z. Whoops. That's me. Z will zoom in on her. Sight of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if I... Yeah. Okay. So this... Yeah, they can see me. That's cool. That's actually kind of what I want, because that will hopefully have them move closer. Nope. Enter. Really actually trying to lure just 1 or 2 out. We're at the edge of a huge pack, so if she'll just randomly move slightly closer and go, hey, I know you, I'm going to come and eat you. That would be great. I'm not going to chase you. If anything, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to back up. Yeah, it doesn't seem to actually remember where you are, so maybe that was a bad move. And I will admit, this is a really slow way of doing the map. But, here's the thing. This isn't the first time I've attempted this fight. I do not normally go into battle with 2 Caberjacks. I kind of want to use, like, this is how a Caberjack works, right? But that doesn't mean I'm going to just, like, that doesn't mean that I can easily just run into any fight, unfortunately. and go, yes, this is exactly how to Caberjack. And I'll duck back this just a little more. Okay. So now. So here's the plan. We'll run out, we'll hit this one. Okay, that didn't die. I was hoping she would die. Because then I could have run out, but or at least be in a position where I could run out and take it on with the next one. She comes out and attacks. Okay, that's not ideal because I'm at a net loss for XP here. And there's level 2. Which drops the chances to hit. Okay. There's that at least. Okay. And turn. Yes. Okay, that's good-ish. And she's gonna... Yep, okay, that's good. That they are coming, that they're hitting, and doing this is bad. I mean, the missing is good, but that they're coming out is really quite useful. So I want to back up, hit him. XP, health, everything. Now, Lynn has a healing potion, which should help us. We kind of want to just get them to come back this way. Come on. I'm really tempted to charge. This is almost certainly just going to get you killed. Alright, you know what? Let's do this. I'll heal you up. And we'll charge. And this is me getting impatient. Because my tactics are not working well enough. Six damage. Not great, but not terrible. Okay, now. What we want to do is you. If you charge right now, you can't actually charge that far. This is going to be a problem because you really can't charge that far. Yeesh. Okay. We're going to eliminate you. How can we do this? So, I can eliminate both of you this way. But that's not really going to achieve my goal. If I hit it like this... yes, if I hit you like this, I also get those... this is, yeah, just trying to work out the best way to eliminate both of them and stun. That didn't work out as well as I'd liked. They did get stunned. Excellent. That was, like, the aim of the game is to keep them stunned. If I can charge closer, I should be able to reach them next turn. Yes. There's the plan. So you hit one, either, both. So, can you reach? No. You can, though. Good. There's the idea. This is why you have the Blastcapper. Alright? This is why I keep the Blastcapper. It just allows me to actually do this. Even with only 2 Caberjacks. Towards the beginning of the game, if I had more Caberjacks, especially regular Caberjacks, then I would have more knockdown available. Knockback available, rather. I'm actually going to now knock them back towards me. Because of those guys. And there's not really a whole lot I can do there. Yeah, I see both of them. Now, I want to... Well, I'd like to keep them in line, but right now that'll just stun her. And this is the downside, is, of course, you can't turn off knockback. So let's just kill it. Keep it dead. Got the seeds. The seeds will surround us, which is fine, because that just lines them up to get killed. And those guys are right on the edge of vision, which means they haven't necessarily spotted us, which is great. Yeah. I haven't necessarily not spotted us, of course. And here we have the chain of value. So, an important thing to know about knockback is you seem to only be able to hit a maximum of 3 with it. And we're doing it this way because then we get the XPs there. And she needs it. Now. There we go. So in this case, because this is a demonstration battle, and I'm not planning on continuing this save, I'm going to grab Fury. Otherwise, and Fury is a lot more tempting in a mid-battle situation. The fact you can level mid-battle is really, really nice. One of the things I like about this game. And so we're going to grab Fury. But I probably wouldn't pick it were it not for this being demonstrating Caberjack tactics. Well, Blastcapper tactics specifically. But there. Actually, it occurs to me I could have explosive cabered to get all 3. And I probably should have. I just didn't think of it at the time. So now, basic plan is ignore the seeds. The seeds are a problem. The seeds are not great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not particularly fond of them. But they do 1 to 2 damage a turn, and right now they're just making her angry, which is fantastic. I can charge you. Can I? So if I move here, I can charge. And the fact that she has charge, it's really helping me actually get to hit things, and she got stunned. Excellent. Revealing both of those, less excellent. But, you know, win some, lose some.
Another notch.
The fact that she didn't reach, also, less than ideal, but hey. More angry. I'm so glad to see misses. I'm always glad to see misses. This is likely to be a relatively close fight. So, this is why. It's, oh, thank you. That gets you closer, and it gives me the 3 I need to get value. Oh, you are the best. And I'm just gonna use the explosive caper there. It guarantees a kill there. It stuns both of them. Everyone is happy. And then there's that problem. But I'm being pushed away from it, so that's all good. And level up to 5 again. Is it again? I kind of forget. Yes, you. Get slammed. Oh, come on! 1 health. It would be really nice if you would leave them on less health. Okay. And we got the seeds. You can see that I really like the seeds are bad. They do at least 1 damage, they may do 2 damage. But they are easily the lowest high priority lowest high priority. Really? Come on. I can speak words. Okay. They're really just not a high enough priority to deal with. Until you have a turn where you can't actually get anywhere. And then you finish them off. That's basically how you do it. And you hope that they do things like that. Double move to get in range. And get further in range than they actually need to. lose a level. That's less than ideal, but also fine. Here, you can use the explosive caber, because otherwise that's going to get knocked back. Like, that's going to explode him back into me, and I'd rather not see that. Oh, that still happened. So that didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. That's fine. We'll finish her off. He's gonna lose a level. Key thing is not to die. Overall, I would rather not have that happen. We'll move up here. Surprise! Yes, the worst move he could have made. And you get closer to the hero that can't move fast enough to deal with you otherwise. Thank you, AI, for playing into my hands. Can't reach you any other way, but it doesn't matter, because that's enough to take it out. Alrighty, now. Lastly, I could just use the caber. It would be a perfectly sensible use. And in fact, here, this is an unintentional use of the XP loss, but I can just use the XP loss to respec, because I did pick Fury, and now they've lost that skill and have a new skill point. So they can get double items at the end of this. Those guys have lined up. Unfortunately, I can't get all four. I can just do this, and in fact, I'm going to. Yep, that worked out nicely. Yeah, so this is how you use Caberjacks. Oh, this is how you use, and I keep saying Caberjacks, because they're a kind of Caberjack. This is, in fact, how you use Blastcappers. That's why, I mean, I've been using Explosive Caber a number of times, despite the lower damage, because it doesn't miss. Keeping in mind that it doesn't miss is really, the only reason why you'd use it is because it doesn't miss, and because it can take out a bunch of seeds. But that's how you play Blastcappers. It is much harder to use only Blastcappers. It is not an ideal combination, especially if you're up against Lapses and Cradles. That is, it took me multiple attempts to do that fight. Obviously, in a real game, you would have a mix of classes, so I feel fine about doing that. Have fun, and enjoy killing Cadence. Bye!